All right, folks, we made it in one song. Oh, I need to turn the top light on. Give me 1 second. All right, so we should have some pretty even lighting now. Yeah, we got a little shadow at the bottom, but that's okay. Yeah, I think we're ready to go. Let's do a quick audio test. Ooh, I'm looking a little, a little less white today. I don't know why. All right, I think we're good to go. Let's do TikTok. So we're gonna bring this over here, and then drag it out. Let's see. All right, yes, I think we're good to go. Let's just go live on TikTok as well, and we will, pop out the chat. Auto screenshot, Warframe with viewers. Yup. Audience control. Yeah, I'm just gonna go 18 only. Actually, why don't we try not doing it? Just, for a time, for an era. All right, TikTok, I think you're here. I think you can hear me. Yeah, it looks like Warframe is coming through a little bit. Not really too much. But yeah, I think we should just get started. Let's just tab over. I guess we'll start out by saying, okay, let's see what's going on in the channel this week. Fuck. Well, today's Tuesday, so Wednesday's video is Scourgebringer. Scourgebringer, wonderful game, awesome game. So Scourgebringer is Wednesday, and then I think Flint Hook is Friday, and then Monday will be Rogue Legacy 2. Dude, I'm excited for Rogue Legacy 2. I am so bad at that game. That is, I'm just generally bad at all 2D platformers, but like something about Rogue Legacy 2 is just so much worse. It's the spin kick. Oh, I'm just terrible. Anyway, as always, like, comment, subscribe. And I think let's just get right into it. Oh, you can hit that notification bell to get notified when I go live. I don't really make events, so you won't really get a chance to know when something's happening. But I mean, if you show up, you show up. That's a shout out. That's a reason for a shout out. Are we good? I think we're good to go. All right, let's tab over. So today we have one more larva frame, and then we have 4 or 5 ensnare frames. And then I think if we have a little bit of extra time, the other thing that I was going to do is Incarnon adapters were leaked, so you can actually see all the weapons that are going to get Incarnons. So most of these guys, there's like 3 or 4 of them that I need to level up and, put a full build on. So, I thought I might show off, my leveling, how I level my weapons mostly. I think the pistols are all good. I think I have Despair, Toxicist, Colstar, Lado, and Zylock. And then I think I literally have every single primary Incarnon, like all of these weapons I have. So, I mean, if those weapons become super absurd, then that's game over, dude. Game over. And then for melees, I think I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, literally only 3. No, 4. Skana, Hate, Dual Ichor, and Akin Brunt. Because all of those guys are slash. Every other weapon, fuck off. I'm not going to use it. That's why, like, the Inodem was so good. Because it's a knife. It's a dagger. So the dagger heavy attack has that built-in slash proc. So, like, daggers, like, the actual damage spread doesn't really matter. But, I have less secondaries. Anyway, we're getting distracted. Okay, let's do this. So, we are using Phantasma, which is fine because the last larva frame is Inaros. And I think you're going to notice a trend that, like, Inaros and Atlas are, like, very, very similar. I still don't know how I feel about this fashion. I'm trying to figure out the Ramses skin, because it's, like, it has, like, this big coat, and it's, like, I can't figure out a color that really works. I was thinking, like, a red. Like a dark red. But I don't know. I mean, that looks okay. We can try it out for a while. Yeah, I still don't think it looks good. Oh, my God. Like, I could look at, you know, the Horus skin or something. Yeah, it's just too plain. I mean, I could... What's the Prime look like? Oh, it looks pretty okay. I think I have a... Do I have a cool helmet? Is there a cool helmet for... Anyway, we're getting distracted. Yeah, he's not my favorite. I'll say that. What's this look like? Yeah, this is the trim. Yeah, so you kind of do need like a dark color. Although I could just go with white. And then have a darker trim. Something like this. I mean, whatever, dude. We'll stick with it. I'm getting distracted. This is just classic gameplay. Anyway, the Inaros build will start in a second. I think I have to swap this. Yeah. Oh, nope. All right. Okay. All right. Enough getting distracted. Let's see. So, like I said before, Inaros and Atlas are very similar. And you're going to see when we get into his build that Inaros, you know, is even a crazier version of Atlas. Like, Atlas, you know, my build, it has triple Umbra. So you're getting that 77% strength from... I don't know if I set it to 18 years or older. But anyway, whatever. What am I saying? Okay. Look at the strength. That's it. That's all you need to know. Atlas has the arcane, or he has the umbral intensify, but like Inaros doesn't care about strength. Just it doesn't matter on his kit. Like in most cases you're not even going to use any of his abilities. Like his most useful ability is just holding down your 4 so you can get that you can get 100% armor. So you just doubles your armor. So like that's pretty much it. And then like Larva just simplifies everything, but really I think Pocket Sand Desiccation is pretty good. I'm not positive, but I think it gives every enemy it makes them sleep, so like they get that bonus finisher damage. So it's really just a melee deletion, but like especially just using Larva, it's just press 2, press 1, win. That's it. Like there's no other gameplay. Obviously, you know, you don't need growing power, so corrosive projection is pretty nice. You're going to see I have Carnus Carapace, which is the Demos mod set. You know, it's just armor and health. Super nice. Once again, you know, Inaros has 5,900 health with this build. So the whole point is that you don't die. The whole point is that you have Rage, which is just infinite energy. So you always know you have energy. You know, you're going to rock Arcane Grace, which is going to give you that healing factor. And then as long as you have your 4 active, you know, as long as you're not in some kind of nullifier bubble, you're going to get double armor. And so you're going to hit that 1,200 mark. So you're going to be doing, you know, about 80% damage resistance. So, you know, couple that with adaptation. As always, you're going to have a lot of bullet sponginess. But I would say that still, maybe in this situation, if a Blitz Eximus actually manages to hit you, first of all, that's cringe. But second of all, it still might, you know, nuke you for like a bunch of your health. But, you know, we'll see. As always, with the Larva frames, gameplay is brainless as hell. So we'll finish Inaros, and then we've got a couple Ensnare frames. I'll do the math later, but, you know, we'll get to these guys up at the top later. They all have their uses. Like, I kind of have to explain, like, why they're so good in certain situations. But anyway, we're getting distracted. This is Inaros Prime. Let's go. I think I came into the game when Inaros came out, because I remember, like, maybe that was the update. Anyway, here's what I say. There's only one way to tell if you're an actual veteran in Warframe. Whatever normal frame, whatever update that was, when you joined, when that frame becomes a prime, now you're a veteran. It's just, you just get roped in, you know, you get grandfathered in. And for me, that was probably like Gara, or, you know, Inaros or Harrow, I think, which is just a long time ago. So, you know, that's how you tell. It's very simple. Okay, folks. That way, you know, that's just how it goes. And now it's like, I mean, you have like Nidus Prime and all these just insanely strong frames. Like at a certain point, what you realize is, like, the longer the game goes on, like, every frame is going to get better. You know, even like people are like,
worthy foes.
Oh Dude, my speakers are still on. People, I think, shit on Ureli, but I don't really understand why, because it's like she basically has a Vauban vortex with a bigger radius. Like the base radius of her bubble, her 4, is like 5 meters bigger. It's like 15 meters, and Vauban's vortex is like 10. So it's like already, it's just a numbers game. You know, you could easily just, I think I put Roar on her, but you know, you could, I mean, she has her 2, which is just 75% damage reduction. So like, you could kind of rock Defy, and then maybe use, you know, Arcane Avenger as well. And then, you know, I don't think you're going to get crit chance. Like, I don't think your Aqua Blades are going to crit, but, you know, you get the idea. It's pretty basic. We haven't even used Larva. I think everything is running okay on TikTok. Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, it ran okay the last time, so. Dude, in hindsight, hitting 3,000 on TikTok was S tier, just so I can finally just have it all on my computer. Like, have chat on my computer. That's all I need. I mean, I can easily, like, do a solo stream now. It's just brainless. And then all I get is, like, easy Warframe footage that I can use for all of my reviews. Like, I was just literally thinking about clipping out these videos and making like a, you know, a Inaros Steel Path test, or like an Atlas Steel Path test, or like, you know, just making a video just for the SEO, just so that I have every single Warframe. And people are like, dude, he has a funky build for every single frame. And it's like, yeah, because I play every single frame. That's the whole point of the game. Like, if you're really going to put effort into this shit, you better use everything. You better figure out how to actually viably play every single frame solo. Alright, folks? And really, you know, the meta weapons make it brainless, but that's kind of what you need. There's a lot of shit happening in these missions. Like, dude, sometimes my mom will come in, and she's like, you know, she wants to talk about something, and I'll just keep playing, and she'll just be like so unsure of what's going on and unable to follow what's happening. Like, she can basically say like, oh, there you are in the middle, but that's as far as it goes. And it's like, yeah, of course, Cringe lives with his parents, but I think I did the math, and I need to make like over at least $3,000 a month to actually like live in the greater East Seattle area. Is my 2 just kind of fucked up? I'm clicking 2 on my mouse, and sometimes it's just not giving it to me. Not giving it to me at all. Alright, here we go. There you go. And you can see this is the whole gameplay. We can kind of test out, you know, we can kind of test the one. I haven't even used my armor ability either. Look at this. I just hold this down. Easy numbers game. And then Grace is just going to heal me back up. It doesn't even matter. Like, you have only health, so you're constantly going to proc Grace. Like, you're essentially always getting healed. Look at this. It's just numbers at this point. Okay, let's see. We're going to desiccate all these fools. And then I think... yeah, I couldn't really tell you if you're getting a stealth damage bonus off of that or not, but, you know. He kind of just is nice that you don't die. Until you put Larva on a frame that doesn't die, and it just becomes like the simplest, like, it's kind of a relaxing game at that point. It's not too stressful. You never have to worry about getting killed. My boss is scheduling meetings, and he will probably continue to schedule meetings, so, you know. Yes, okay, he's just changing the time on this. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I mean, look at this. That's it. I hate to say it, it's not really a test. Like, you do it once, and it's like, okay, I get the idea. There's not much else to it. There's not really a lot of gameplay. And, you know, I think people have different opinions on this, but I do. Makes my life simple. There you go. Yeah, you tell me if that was a stealth damage bonus or not, alright? I won't be the arbiter of truth in this situation. Oh, fuck. Look at this. The other life support is all the way over there. So I have to go back into the spawn room. This is like an instant fail. Like, if your map generates like this, you might as well just quit after the first 5 minutes. Like, not worth it. Because it's just too long of a tunnel. Like, the tunnels between the maps have to be really short. Like, there's like arenas and tunnels. And it's like, if you have a really long run to the next... you know, life support charge, it's like you might as well just game over yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think for a time, so like there's a augment for Inaros' 4, and it like, I think it prevents status procs, but like I don't think that really matters. Yeah, did you see that? So the sentient hit me, and it was like, it dealt like 2,000 damage in one hit, so it's like you can still definitely get killed. It's not as simple as you would assume.
Extraction is ready.
Yeah, like I don't know if he's getting a stealth damage bonus.
Life support is at risk.
But you might as well give it a shot anyway. Yeah, they're both down. Okay, let's see if this works. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Oh my god. Oh, what did I tell you? See, like these runs are just cursed. I don't know what to say. There you go. Alright. There you go. That's the whole gameplay. We'll do it one more time. You ready? Obviously keep your 4 active. Just hold it down. There's the larva. There's the desiccation. And I guess you get a stealth damage bonus off of that, you know? I'm no expert. I mean, I should be. If I do a proper build, you know, you'll see some more info. I'll test everything out. But yeah, I mean, people are right. He is kind of lame, but it's like, whatever. He's invincible. I think DE knows that, like, if a frame is, like, incapable of dying, that's, like, a pretty big perk in and of itself. Like, people shit on Valkyr, but it's like she has a like an insanely strong exalted weapon. You don't need to put Fury on her talons because she has her 2, which is like 80% attack speed, so it's like essentially just replaces that mod. So you save a mod slot so you can have like 180% crit chance with the double sacrificial, and then you can also rock like pretty decent slash damage, and then also like the rolling attack. Anyway, we'll get into it, but the slide attack for the Valkyr talons is like it's like a quadruple hit. Like, it hits so many times, it's just cringe as fuck. Like, incredible. I mean, but she is kind of boring, so you just put on Ensnare. Anyway, that was Inaros. As you can see, he is definitely a larva frame, so the gameplay is the gameplay, but the gameplay also makes the game easier. So I'm always a fan. That's what I gotta say. Let's see. All right. So up next, the definitely weaker of the two CC's abilities versus, I think we should also kind of do Titania. Titania has a pretty interesting CC as well. So we have, we'll do Titania is like a later one, but we're really talking about Ensnare, which is Khora's. It's her Helminth ability, obviously, but I think it really contends very well with Larva, and it's kind of a good counter to Larva. And so obviously, for me to talk about Valkyr and then for Valkyr to be first, it's like absolutely perfect. All right, this is Valkyr. Obviously, we have Ensnare and Valkyr. Obviously, do not need Archon shards for Valkyr. Absolutely not. Let's just get right into it, folks. Valkyr is a triple Umbra tank rocking 2,000 armor, which is 87% damage resistance. So you can see that at 80%, or at 1,000 armor, you had 80%, and at an extra 1,000, you don't even get 10% extra damage resistance. So it's essentially meaningless. Once you hit that 80%, you might as well just fuck off and like don't go beyond that. It doesn't even matter. All right. So she's a triple Umbra tank. So she's obviously gonna rock Hunter Adrenaline for that free energy all the time. So you're obviously also gonna rock Arcane Avenger because you have no need for Guardian. And beyond that, let's talk about Ensnare. Ensnare on Valkyr has a 16 meter radius. Pretty shitty. When we were talking about Larva has a, on those other builds, that's a 22 meter. But also, that's a max range build. So this way, I can save a lot of range and still get a pretty decent effect out of it. And I would honestly say, I think I'm really building for Warcry. But I will also say, there's a real secret to larva that messes with a lot of builds, and there's a reason that you can't put larva on every build. If you have too much duration on larva, it becomes a lot worse. Like, it just becomes so shitty. You honestly want to have a negative duration build. That's why mag is so good, because you want it to exist, pull, and then go away, and then pull, and then go away. So you can constantly be doing it. Like, the more you can cast that ability, the better. So, like, having more duration actually makes the ability worse. And that's why, like, Nidus is kind of a funky guy, because his 4 is like a duration-based ability, but I think his 3 is, like, just permanent. Like, it just exists. Well, I guess maybe it's a duration. Anyway. So let's say you're talking about Valkyr, who has an attack speed buff, a melee attack speed buff. So you kind of want to buff that and give it, like, a little bit longer duration. So then you definitely can't use larva. So ensnare is kind of like this good alternative where the duration actually makes the ability better. Like can I say this word? Okay, the propagation delay. That means it'll happen more often. It'll pull and then pull and then pull a lot faster. So it's actually like genius, okay? Like, larva is the negative duration version but better. But then, you know, if you have a positive duration build, you're kind of forced to use ensnare, which is like a little bit worse. And then, dude, that's like Varuna. All right, that's my Varuna build, you know. Anyway, we're getting distracted. I don't really care about paralysis. I don't really use it. Warcry is really, really nice. Free armor. Good God, 80% armor. Like, do you see how fucking invincible you become? And then you slow enemies, so it's like whatever. But, you know, really, ensnare will be your secret weapon. And then also, of course, hysteria with the talons. We'll have to talk about that. Okay, I think I pretty much covered everything. We got growing power to get free power strength, obviously. Every build has adaptation, okay, folks? So there are some people that will say rolling guard is the best ability or the best mod in the game. And then there will be other people who will say adaptation is the best ability in the game, or, you know, mod in the game. I am in the adaptation camp. Rolling guard is kind of cool. It's kind of good for, like, shield gating builds, but it's a little bit funky. And I would rather just have flat passive damage reduction. You know, like, being able to say that as long as there's a limited amount of enemies on the field and you're not getting hit by these massive damage attacks, you're pretty much going to be fine. Like, you know, you're these trash mobs that are just constantly, you know, flooding around you, they're not going to do shit. And it's like, yeah, maybe you get killed by a sentient or something, but, you know, that's obviously a boss, and, you know, you got to get your shit together, okay? The Battlist will kill any build. Like, it doesn't matter how good your build is. The Battlist has this absurd damage ability that's just so hard to deal with. So, anyway, that's the Valkyr build. But the Talons build is a whole nother ball game, okay? So let's look at this. Obviously, primed reach, first of all. I would say on most exalted weapons, it's really nice to use primed reach. Obviously, I said before, I don't have primed fury, so we're not getting attack speed. So if I don't have my 2 active, then guess what? My 4 is going to be insanely slow. It's just going to be so slow. Obviously, this is a fucking 7 Forma build. So, you know, we can do the math. I'll go back and look at how many Formas on Valkyr. You're going to notice Carnus Mandible, which is a nice 60% status chance, but also 90% slash. So you can see that without it, you're essentially dead even. So every single status type is going to be about the same amount of likelihood to proc. So right away, you can save a mod slot, don't use Fury, and then immediately slot in a slash bonus. So now what you're saying is Viral is going to be twice as likely as Slash, which is going to be almost twice as likely as either of these two guys. So, you know, you're kind of weighting Slash with almost double, you know, because it's 90%. It's almost double. So that's the basic gist of it. You know, obviously we have double sacrificial. I did put an Umbra Forma in here. What the hell is happening? -1 concurrent viewers? What the fuck? Is it going to be permanently -1? What the hell? Oh my god. Sacrificial mods. Umbra Forma. 7 Forma. All right, let's do the math. So we got 7. We got Condition Overload. I mean, it's pretty basic. You guys can see the mods. You can look them up. You'll figure out how to get them. So we have 7 on the Talons, and we have 8 on Valkyr herself. So that is 15 Forma. All right. So if you want to do it, I don't know if it needs to be 15. I think it could be 14 maybe. I think I have an extra Forma here that I shouldn't have. But that's the basic gist of it. You know, pretty low range, but it's Ensnare. So Ensnare is definitely a different ability. It's more about snagging someone that's near a group and further grouping a group that already exists. So, you know, it's a subgrouper. It's just not as good as a grouper. All right. And obviously the weapon doesn't really matter. We're rocking the ALAC, and I think now the ALAC, yes, it's only 90%. So with this crit chance Riven, I am almost at 100, but you know, pretty close. YouTube is just killing me with the -1 concurrent viewers. So weird. That is so, like, that's classic. That's all I gotta say. All right, let's go. So this is Valkyr. I mean, we'll talk about the other ones, but you know, let's just show off Ensnare. I mean, I'm sure I feel like most people know how Khora works. I will say there's only one ability that I hate more than any other ability in the game, and that is Khora's fucking Strangle Dome. Like, any weapon that you have to aim, you're trying to fucking shoot a dude that's flopping around. It's like, God, I just cannot. I cannot at all. I don't want to be put in this situation. All right. This is super simple. I don't really need to use my 2 because I'm essentially just going to be spamming my primary, so we're not too worried. Obviously my cat is also going to be fucking invincible, and that is the other good part about tank frames, is like your crit cat is going to be just unkillable, just chilling. Nothing's going to affect it. It's just going to walk off everything. Doesn't even matter. Like, Grace is just going to come in clutch in so many situations. Here's what I got to say. If there were like certain bonuses, or like I don't know what's it called. Those are like status effects. Like, you know, like if adaptation also transferred to my cat, this whole game would be easy mode. Like, it would be so fucking brainless. Oh my god. But I don't think they would ever do that. I think that's too crazy. I think the cat is okay as it is. So you can see the propagation is like okay, but you know, it just makes things easier. I think grouping, you know, crowd control, like true crowd control frames. God, there's another notification. True crowd control frames. It's really also about ammo economy. Like, it's about maximizing your kills per bullet. Like, every time you shoot, you should kill like at least 5 or 6 enemies. And so it's like, you really don't need to be shooting. Oh my god, my cat got deleted. Holy shit. Well, it's too late. Oh, hang on. It's goddamn. I mean, what am I supposed to do if that just shows up on stream? I mean, I can't look at that right now, but I will. So I think project management is new. Anyway, that's my job, by the way. I just gotta chill for a second. Let's just keep going. I think we're doing okay. I'm surprised that my cat got deleted. What are we at? 30 minutes, and I've done 2 frames. I mean, I guess we're kind of on track. I feel like Valkyr is really cool. I mean, just having like a frame that has an exalted weapon and also has like a grouping ability is just so fun and silly. And well, she's a cat frame, so obviously like Khora's ability just fits so well. It's just so thematically perfect. But yeah, I mean, like, that's the basic gist of it. Like, Ensnare like really complements these abilities. Well, I mean, complements is the wrong word because it kind of trivializes everything, but that's the whole point of crowd control. And I'll say it once, I'll say it, you know, a million times. And these notifications are just killing me. So I think we're going to hit him with this and then this. You know, I guess we can show off the Talons gameplay. Obviously, we need to pop this as well. So if I can get a good rolling attack or what is that, sliding attack? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. If I can get a good one of those attacks, yeah, you see, you just delete everything. Everything's dead. Oh, and these guys are also going to get sucked from the bottom, which is kind of annoying, but, you know, whatever. We can move to the bottom. So, we only have 60 energy left, so it's kind of nice to just drain all your energy and then just be chilling. Yeah, you see Warcry ran out, but I don't have enough energy. And so it's like, obviously the trade-off is like, while you are using Hysteria, you are invulnerable, so you can't just use Hunter Adrenaline to have infinite energy while you use your 4. Because you also have lifesteal, so it's kind of like this really funky trade-off. Like, they knew what they were doing when they designed Valkyr. Like, it's so, on and off. I love that whole... That's my, like... To me, that's like a genius gameplay. It's just like the idea of just being... The frame is on, and then the frame is off. And, you put in a lot of effort, and then you don't put in a lot of effort. That's kind of how I think about it. But then, obviously, crowd control is a whole different ballgame. That's why I'm doing it first. Like, it's such a fun way to play because it just simplifies everything. And dude, as soon as you're in like a defense or like a mobile defense, and a crowd control frame shows up, like you have a Vauban in the squad or you have a Zephyr, it's like, oh, game is over, the whole mission is over. So yeah, I use Warcry and I have no energy left. So it's basically, you're saying like, as soon as Warcry ends, you should just exit your 4. You should just leave, get all your energy back. Maybe cast Warcry early, but, that's pretty much the gameplay. And then Ensnare just, breaks it all down, makes it simple. Just slap it on somebody. See, look at this. Ensnare works on sentience, so I think you're actually going to sleep them so they won't use their abilities. So then you can just DPS them. Then I think one glaive hit should kill him. Yeah, there you go. Alright, easy. Damn, I do not have a lot of energy, I'll say that. Let's hit that. So I think, oh my god, that's my entire health bar. See, there you go. The DPS from these guys, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. There you go. Doesn't matter. Easy revive. I think I have red crits. Yeah, I got red crits. Alright. I think, nope. One guy is dead. Alright, now you're dead. He's dead. Okay. And boom. There you go. Nice. Alright, that's the whole gameplay. Easy. Alright, that's 5 minutes. So you got it. I mean, let's... One more time, folks. That's how you gotta do it. Pop and snare is a perfect situation. Group them up. I got full energy. I mean, you just hit this, you hit Warcry, and now I go wild for 26 seconds. And then, when Warcry ends, then you just leave. You can use Ensnare if you want. Really just do whatever you want. Obviously, I think when you're in the Exalted weapon, you actually, move faster than Ensnare, so it doesn't always make sense for you to be, hitting someone with Ensnare when really you can just, as long as you're, sliding through groups of enemies. Okay, Warcry is over. So goodbye. There you go. That's the gameplay, folks. I think Valkyr is pretty cool. Obviously, I don't know. I feel like the whole argument of a frame having a shitty ability is such a dumb take because Helminth exists. What is the whole point of Helminth if not to be who cares about Chroma's 1 or his 4? Buff his 2 and his 3 and then just win. Just get free bonus damage. You can get 900% bonus damage. Why would you... Who cares? Just Chroma and the Tenant Envoy. Or Chroma and the Kuvazar. Or Chroma... You get the idea, okay? I think there's a lot more credit to just buffing... or only having 2 good abilities. To me, Chroma shouldn't have any more good abilities because having these free buffs is just, that's all you need. You don't need any more gameplay. I'm okay with having a buff frame because he's also a buff frame and a tank frame, so that means you can obviously rock Arcane Avenger, and then you just know that, oh, you just pick a weapon that will totally optimize, just absolutely obliterate everything, because That's all the gameplay you need. Like, that shouldn't be too difficult. All right. So let's see. Valkyr is the first ensnare frame. The second ensnare frame is Nezha. The third ensnare frame is Equinox. The fourth, obviously, is Khora. And I think that's it. Yes, that's it. Okay, so we have Khora, Equinox, Nezha, and Valkyr. I think that's it. Is there anybody at the top that has ensnare? I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's it. Pretty limited, actually. It's only 4. But yeah, ensnare frames are pretty classic. Nezha is a favorite. And this is something that I'm glad we're getting to today. There was this whole, like, meme, I guess, in the Warframe community that, like, oh, Nezha is just discount Rhino. It's like, what the fuck? What? Who says that? Who says that now? Like, now, especially now that Helminth exists, it's like, dude, Nezha is nothing like Rhino. Like, they are, like, on 2 completely different levels. Like, Nezha is, like, actually a frame. Like, Rhino is just a roar gun. Like, you just buff roar to infinity, and then you just go into an Archon hunt and delete whatever they are. Like, it just delete. There is no gameplay, you know? It's just, he is just Iron Skin and roar. That's it, okay? Getting to, like, I guess it's technically less than Chroma, because Chroma is, like, 900% damage, but, like, 260% damage for the whole team, so useful in just so many situations. Like, you can't really get that anywhere else. And that's why, like, dude, the Rhino build will always be Rhino only. There is no discount anything, okay? So let's get right into the Nezha build. Obviously, first things first, Amber Shard for bonus energy. And that is because Nezha is the only tank frame that doesn't use Rage or Hunter Adrenaline. He has 225 energy, but his gameplay is basic. He is a CC frame, and that is because there is a wonderful combo that you can do, and some people will say keep his spears, keep his divine spears, because every time you hit an enemy with the chakram, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the blazing chakram, it'll multiply and it'll scatter around. But to me, I say, I don't really want to stop enemies where they are. I want to bring them all together. And then that way, your chakram might disappear faster, but all the enemies are right next to each other. So you're going to hit a bunch of them, and you're going to get that free 230% damage vulnerability, which is also because you're rocking triple Umbra plus transient fortitude, so you actually have pretty low duration. But like, also having low duration doesn't really matter for Nezha. Also, like, it's super simple. And so I think it's like, oh, you might try you might try, let's see, you might try Larva, but for that I really think it's nicer to use overextended, and that's just too tight of a build. So you might as well have some decent strength so that you can have a good warding halo, because this isn't actually going to prevent all damage. It's only going to prevent 90%. So it's more of just like a defensive ability versus Iron Skin, which is just complete negation. Like, you're on a different tier. Oh, I think we got a notification. Shout out Nehemiah. Damn, that's a fucking cool ass name. I wonder if that's an Abrahamic name. Nehemiah. Fuck, damn. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Shout out. I mean, that's Nezha for you. Obviously, you got growing power, so you're going to get even more power strength. You're going to hit, like... Yo, shout out Nehemiah. I appreciate it. Nehemiah says you're cute, bro. I appreciate it. So you're going to hit 250% power strength, which is just brainless gameplay. But it doesn't matter, because you're just pressing 4, and then pressing 2. And then also, dude, his whole kit is S tier. If you just, well, even if you don't use Ensnare, his whole kit is S tier. So I think Ensnare is just a better fit. You know, obviously he has a 1 that gives him 25% speed and also gives you that fire damage. So, you know, especially when you're using like Gaze, which is a fire damage, and you have Cascadia Flare, you're just always going to have maximum damage bonus from Cascadia Flare, even if you never use the gun, which is just lovely. Obviously, Warding Halo, pretty S tier. Pretty cool to use. You really feel like a badass when like the damage multiplier is going up and you're just in the thick of it, and you just don't die, because obviously you have 700 armor, you have adaptation, and then you also have another 90% damage resistance on top of that because of Warding Halo. So like you are just invincible in a cringe way, and so of course you just rock Arcane Grace, and then you're gonna proc Arcane Grace like way more often than you actually lose health. Like it is just gonna be, there's no gameplay. Okay. Yeah, his whole kit is so good. His 2 health orb drop, energy orb drop, whatever, especially with crowd control, you're going to be fine. You're going to get tons of orbs, especially when you kill Eximus units. Duration, I don't think really matters that much. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Having 90%, and Snare is just flat 10 meters, so the number goes up by 9. So, you know, pretty easy to understand. But that's about it. Let's get into it. Primary that we are using is the Kuva Tonkor. Okay. That's a pretty easy one. Although, I guess we're using all CC frames, so it doesn't really matter. I was going to say, like, it might be nice to use more something like an Astilla Prime, which is more of like a slug rifle. But, you know, it doesn't really matter, folks. Let's just go, okay? Warding Halo is going to be the saving grace. It doesn't really matter how much Warding Halo you have, because you can just recast it. You're always going to have enough energy. Especially, like, that's what you guys should understand. Like, I hope you're understanding why I'm doing crowd control first. And it's like,
stand by for life support.
Damn, fucking shout out. Antonio Cruz also followed. God damn. I appreciate it, homies. That was a little weird, but you know, shout out the boys. So there you go. There's the 4. There's the 2. I don't really know how many enemies that hit, but it doesn't really matter. Obviously, especially when you're using meta weapons, you're probably going to be one-shotting everything regardless, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm in the strength zone, so I'm just going to pop this. Actually, let's get a growing power. There you go. And then here we go. Boop. See what kind of numbers I can get. There's 1,000. Oh, okay. So that's 36,000. The number doesn't matter. You know, it really doesn't matter. It's just a number. You got to recast it eventually. We're going to go to the main lobby. I hate this room. This room sucks, especially with Nezha, because all of the enemies are just going to be stuck on fire over here. So I kind of have to actually go over here and kill them while they're still in this hallway. But look at that. The range on this guy is just super decent. But I mean, did you see that? Okay. That was Tonkor just deleting every single enemy in that area. Just every single one. There's no gameplay. Especially just, dude. I think at this point I do have a Riven for every single meta primary. So it's like there is no gameplay. Okay. Regardless of what frame you're using, you know, especially when you're using crowd control frames, that is the peak of Warframe. It's just like turn your brain off. Go for as long as you need, okay? Farm out some steel essence, boys. That's it. Grind. And do it solo, because that's where it actually gets tough. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, dude, it doesn't matter. It just, you have to coordinate. The hardest part is the logistics of, like, having hours and hours of time available. Like, the idea of, like, having to keep Warframe running for, like, fucking untold amount of time. Like, fuck, dude. There you go. Once again, that's everybody. Yeah, you don't even need to cast the 2. Like, the damage vulnerability doesn't matter. I could read that ability. I wonder if it only affects fire damage. I think it should affect Hurl a flaming that seeks it to any damage. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's fine. So it is just any damage. That's good to hear. I think Nezha did get a rework, and dude, he is just criminal. Just absolutely S tier. Oh, that could have been a crash. I think we're okay. TikTok is still running. Yes, I think everything's still running. The whole computer did chunk up pretty rough. But we're still here. We're fighting. Yeah, I'm not even gonna use this too. We can kind of show it off, but you get the idea. You just click, and then that's it. Oh, did I miss? Let's see. Oh, I think that hit most of them. All right. Yeah, and I think, well, I don't think, I think in the end, using the spears and having the Chakram kind of multiply is also a great build. But as a person who can easily just slot in a crowd control ability, that's exactly what I'm going to do. That is exactly what I'm going to do. Especially, dude, I just love, like, Khora, tank frame, crowd control frame. Valkyr, tank frame, crowd control frame. Nezha, tank, you get the idea. Alright, folks. Like, being invincible and also having access to, Arcane Avenger and a crowd control ability, like, really just turns everything into, like, anti-gameplay. It's just so dumb, dude. That's why you love it, okay? We got 4 minutes left. Or we got probably 1 minute. But yeah, you're seeing how it goes. Like, Ensnare is such a simple ability. I'm really just not killing this fucking Guardian Eximus. I think I'll probably have to kill this guy, the drone. But like, yeah, you can see, like, as soon as I pull out the glaive, like, nothing survives. Look at this. And then if I need to laser him, I need to laser him. Alright, there you go. So we're going to hit a battle list. And I'm going to see how much damage I can build up. I want to see how much I can build up on my 3. And that'll be basically like the last thing we do. Okay, let's see. Where's the battle list? I don't know if they're going to light on fire, but I don't think it matters. Let's see. Where is this fucker? I am just sitting here. I am sitting here doing nothing. I don't really see... Did I just... Nope. There he is. That's a Conculus. Alright, where's the battle list? That's a Conculus. Did these fucking... Oh my god. I asked for a battle list and they give me 2 Conculus. God damn it. I think that actually happened. Okay, here, let's just hit this. 500, 800, yeah, 10k, that's worthless. Okay, so we're obviously going to switch to the beam weapon. We're going to pop this. We're going to pop that. They're both dead. Okay, let's do this. And I think I can click this a couple times and they'll both die. Oh, this guy needs to die again. Oh, nice. I love to see it. Okay, I got the steel essence. Alright, yeah, I think we're good. Alright, so here we go. Here's the gameplay one more time. I'm about to lose my armor. Okay, so let's do the whole loop one more time. There's the 3. Let's see how much damage we can build up. Fucking 500, whatever, doesn't matter. Hit him with a quick ensnare. Did you see me just survive that Blitz Eximus Blast? You hit him with the 2 a couple times for that free damage vulnerability, and then you just delete. And the 2 honestly isn't necessary. And of course, the bunny hop ability, the Firewalker that just gives you free speed. I mean, like, I haven't even mentioned the fact that, like, he's like one of the fastest frames if you're good at, like, land speed movement. If you can master, like, the roll, like, the where you slide for like 0.5 seconds and then you roll immediately afterwards, like, you can get some really fast land speed going. So he's super nice for, like, quick missions. You know, if you're just doing, like, a quick sabotage or, like, an exterminate, it just goes by so fast. It's nice, dude. It's brainless. Okay, well, that's it. That's Nezha. I think at this point there were 3. Okay, I think I might have some kind of weird number thing. There are 3 tank and larva frames. We have Inaros, Atlas, and Nidus. And then there are also 3 tank and snare frames. We have Valkyr, Khora, and Nezha. So we got some weird, funky business going on. but these builds are so fun for me, and they really just turn the whole game into easy mode. Like, it makes doing solo shit so much easier. So nice. Or like loading into a steel path incursion, and nobody shows up for a little while. That's what it's all for. Okay. So the last two, we've got Equinox and Khora, and then we'll do Titania at the end. Titania is also a fun one. So you might say, like, Equinox, like, dude, everybody's like, what? Now your Equinox build has ensnare? It's like, yeah, it does. Because from what I've basically tested, I think most people would build like for like a nuke build, but this is more like an ESO. This is more like leveling or like getting focus. It doesn't really deal damage on the steel path, so like building for MAME is just like dog shit. It's worthless. So what I decided is I'm gonna build for duality. Okay. Obviously we have 2 Umbras, pretty much a necessity. We also have Nezha's Hatred, which gets us to 1250 health. But yeah, check this out. Duality. Duality is basically gonna summon a specter of you with your weapon, which is essentially just Wukong's celestial twin. So it deals the same damage that you deal, and as long as you're using like your whatever primary you're using, like it's gonna use your ammo up, but it doesn't really matter because you basically just cast your 4 and then let them do all the work. And it also kind of just runs interference, but that's kind of the whole build. Like, because you're just swapping back and forth, it's kind of annoying to actually like use your abilities properly, but you do get like a nice bonus off of this. And obviously I'm going to go 190% duration because I also have 2 red shards for duration. So that's going to get me to almost 200% duration, which is, you know, basically a 20-second clone that I just have to be recasting constantly. But it, you know, it just makes it a lot easier, you know, having another target. You'll notice that, you know, I also have a yellow shard for energy so that I can rock Arcane Guardian instead of Arcane Energize. I also have Growing Power, which kind of buffs this guy a little bit, but really you're at 190% range for Ensnare, so you're rocking pretty solid. And that's about it. Yep, Nezha's Hatred for that free duration. You know, you're trying to get as much free duration as you can because you're really just trying to build for hitting that 190% on the range. I think that's kind of the most important thing. All right, so that's all I got. It might be a good time to actually use... Nah, let's just use Astilla. All right, let's go. So it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, we got... What, we got 2 more frames. We got Equinox, Khora, and then Titania. And I think Titania is the only one that also has like some form of grouping. Titania is a little bit unique because her ability for grouping is more like a it's more like an AI ability. Like what her ability does is I guess I would say it like makes enemies walk towards a point as opposed to like being pulled. They just kind of walk towards it, but they don't attack you, which is also like a very much a CC ability. Like part of why CC abilities are so strong is just the ability to prevent enemies from attacking, period. Like not just attacking you, but attacking it all. Like Ensnare, as soon as it hits an enemy, it just sleeps them so that, you know, they just kind of sit around. They don't really do much. But they're definitely not attacking, that's for sure. And it also groups them, so it's super useful. But I think it's just nice, you know. It's nice to have multiple frames that can, you know, group enemies in different and unique ways, I guess. You know, and obviously the biggest thing is that, you know, Ensnare is useful with duration builds, but it also is just like drastically worse as a CC because you actually have to hit an enemy. Like you have to target a specific enemy as opposed to Larva, which you just target the ground and then it'll just suck every enemy in a 20-meter radius. And that is just, I mean, I would hate to be 20 meters away from a larva when it's just ready to suck. I mean, you just see it and you have to go for it. That's all I gotta say, folks. I'm just praying for a good roll. There's only 2 life support charges in this zone. So it's going to be a little bit faster for me to figure out where the enemies are coming from. We have a Shadow Stalker spawn, which is pretty interesting. So I was going to say, if we have a little bit of extra time at the end after we do Titania, I was going to level up some weapons and talk about the Incarnon changes. Because I think it's a really fun way to talk about like how I try and build my weapons. And like, dude, I'm doing the Mitre right now because the Mitre is supposedly like, you know, it's getting an Incarnon. So like, you know what that means, right? You gotta build it, you gotta figure out what works on it, and dude, I mean, I literally just built it for slash, and it just deletes. I mean, it's ESO isn't really ever a good test for a weapon. Like, you really do have to bring it into the steel path. Can I not click my abilities? Fuck off. Are my buttons just not working because it's like lagging? That might be a thing. Maybe we can try it. And I think the thing about Equinox's one, you know, the duality is that you can constantly recast it. So it's more just about pressing it as much as humanly possible. And, you know, I think my Spectre will also use my ammo cap. Like, we can kind of watch and see. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, we can just see. But it's pretty much, the whole gameplay is just press 1, press 4. Obviously, Equinox has a whole different build, which is like a nuke build, but the nuke build really stops working in the steel path, and it's just not really a good choice. It's not really safe. You're going to run into a lot of trouble. So I think it's better to just kind of, you know, her one, I guess their one is really nice, because it's just, you know, it's a free buff. Either you get damage or you get defense, and it's like, the defensive buff is like not only shields, but it's also armor, so it really just buffs you in every way. But, you know, you're rocking Arcane Guardian and Arcane Grace, so you're getting the double defensive bonus from that. So that's pretty much going to save you in most situations as long as both of them are active. Obviously, my cat is going to die, but, you know, who cares? That's kind of a fucked up thing to clip out, but, you know, do what you will. That's what I got to say. We are back in the starting zone, and would you look at that? Would you look at that? The other zone is actually in this direction. So we are in the right place, folks. We nailed it. We got 1 minute left. Yep, that's pretty much it for Equinox. I mean, I love their build. It is just free Spectre. You know, it's very much Wukong adjacent. I think Wukong with his Celestial Twin is just so rad, and Wukong is so strong in a lot of ways that, you know, you really don't need to build him for crowd control. I think someone like Equinox does have a weird kit, a little hard to like stay in one form or the other. Like, you know, I think, you know, their 3 is pretty interesting. You know, one of them will like slow enemies and reduce their damage that they deal, but, you know, I think in the end it's not really going to serve you in a lot of situations. It's kind of more annoying than it is useful. The one that debuffs enemies drains an insane amount of energy, so it's really just not worthwhile to like try and build off of it. And it's like the other one is just a power strength buff, so it's like, what are you going to do with power strength? You know, how are you going to actually benefit? Because when you're in that form, you know, your 2, while it is going to give enemies damage vulnerability, it's going to speed them up like crazy, and that is just annoying as hell. And it's just like, I mean, I think that's why it's such a, like, you know, Equinox is such a cool build, is there's just a billion different ways that you can build them, and it's just, no matter what, kind of a cool build regardless. I think I can get down with anything. I got instantly nuked, so I will say, doesn't work in every situation. The whole Grace Guardian combo. I think I got the revive off that. Obviously we have double Battlist, so this is just a bad situation all around. But it's a perfect time for Ensnare. And I think I can pretty easily just delete every single enemy. There you go. Alright, let's try it out. Did I get the crit chance? Yes, okay. There you go. Alright. Alright, folks, that's it. So obviously the whole build is basically just press 4 for Ensnare. Make sure you're constantly pressing 1 so you can get that duality bonus active. And I'm pretty sure if you use a battery operated weapon, you have infinite energy. Or maybe he actually uses ammo. I think maybe battery operated shit only works for me, so I'm not an expert. Don't quote me on it. But that's pretty much Equinox for you. Duality, I love Duality. Very good ability. Very fun. Pretty much just use a primary weapon. Especially me, because I'm a lazy bastard, and my secondary weapon is battery operated, so I just only have ammo for one weapon. That really, I think that's a huge secret, is ammo economy does matter in this game, and like you either have infinite ammo or you don't. You either are always ammo positive or you're not. And I think people are like, oh, the ammo update ruined everything. And it's like, no, you just need to put ammo mutation on everything. That's really it. There's a reason that vigilante supplies exist, because DE knows how strong the vigilante set is, and they also know how strong ammo mutation is. So of course they give you this primary mod that it's an Exilus mod, so you can use it outside of your build, and it means that you don't have to put vigilante armaments or vigilante fervor on your actual kit, but you can still get that 20% crit bonus, which is just, it really sends primary weapons to infinity and beyond. Like, that shit is intentional. Okay. The very last ensnare frame is the Queen of Ensnare, the signature ability, the signature frame. This is Khora. Khora is rocking an Amber Archon shard, and that might mean, yeah, there you go. Khora does not have Hunter's Adrenaline, and Khora does not have Rage. So she doesn't have that infinite energy mod. So you do actually need an Amber Archon shard if you want to have a good enough energy economy. So that's the first part of the build. A little bit funky right off the bat. But of course, the whole reason that you want to have that open Arcane slot, so you can put in Arcane Avenger, which is the staple of any tank build. I think that is the real secret of the tank, is that as long as you have decent enough defenses, put on Arcane Avenger and just get shot more, and then have free crit chance, just guaranteed crit chance. Oh. Okay. Obviously, never forget, adaptation is on every frame that I use. It's ensnare, so I'm just rocking 190% range. We have barely over 200% strength, so we're only going to get about maybe 70% damage from roar. That is also something to note. As you guys might have heard, I hate Strangledome. It is a shitty ability. It's so annoying to work with. So I swap it out for roar. I don't really have enough strength. I should have more strength. But honestly, here's what I'm going to do. After this video is over, I think I might swap out Augur Secrets for Transient Fortitude. And that means I have to put 2 Forma in. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Actually, I could just swap these guys and then put a V in. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I think that works. Yes, I can do a rank 10 adaptation. Okay, I'm getting distracted. So the build will change a little bit. But essentially, all you do is replace Augur Secrets with Transient Fortitude, Transient Fortitude, and you'll be fine. You're gonna get you're gonna get about double the strength from that. And it's just always nice to buff roar. I think especially with these crowd control frames, you have a lot of free energy, so it's okay if you have a lower amount of duration, because you can still cast your abilities as often. So, I think actually I need to put 2 blue shards in here so that she has enough energy that she can actually cast roar when there's an energy reduction modifier. So I think I'm going to put 2 blues and 2 reds for bonus duration. So, we might have to do an update to the Khora build, but we'll do that eventually. So that's pretty much it. You got 90% on Ensnare. Her Whip Claw does refresh Ensnare, but I don't really care. Venari is a really fun thing that I need to talk about. Yeah, let's do that. I have an Umbra Forma because she's a prime. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay. Venari is 7 Forma, so just buckle up. Obviously, Venari is just a classic cat build, so there's nothing really special. But the real thing that I love the most is that Venari gives you a double primed animal instinct buff. So you basically get free double enemy radar. So instead of having 33, you have 66 meters of enemy radar, which is just so... It's like such a nice bonus that I you know, it's only really available on Khora, but God, is it nice. Okay. It is 8:07. Okay, so this is the last true crowd control frame. Okay, after we do Khora, I really think that like Titania isn't really a crowd control frame in the same way, but she does also have Roar, and she is also kind of a funky build, so we'll kind of talk about that. But yeah, I mean, most of these guys are pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Speakers are still on? I don't think so. Nope, speakers are off.
Give them all warriors' death.
Of course, we're just rocking Archiplasmor, which is, you know, the 45,000 damage monster. But it's classic. I think the Archiplasmor pairs really well with crowd control frames, but especially with ensnare frames. What game is this? Does it say it in the title? It should say Warframe. I don't know when the title shows up. That shit's so annoying. I think I'll put that in the... I think I'll put that on screen. You know, I think that's a good idea. Give me a second. I'll do that in a little bit. Let's get to the middle. I'm gonna finish this. Yeah, we'll put that in the TikTok so you guys can see. It's a little lame. Yeah, shout out Alexander Myers. Appreciate the comment. I mean, it's brainless gameplay. I think it's really like... I feel like if you're going to be a Warframe content creator, you better at least try to play like some difficult content to kind of show it off. And so like for me, I think what you'll notice is that playing solo kind of puts it on a whole new level. And like it really forces you to have really, really good weapons. And it forces you to have a solid build that is just, you know, free of any gaps. You know, it's not going to have a lot of weaknesses. You're not going to be in a situation where you're caught with your pants down. I think especially shield frames are like super funky. And so like all of the shield builds are kind of crazy. But that's kind of the whole mark. Like a true Warframe content creator should have a build for every frame. That's kind of the whole thing. They should have a build for every gun. They should be able to tell you like, oh, you know, Miter is about to get an Incarnon. So what kind of build would you say is a good build for Miter? Which is actually something I'm going to go over after I do Titania. But before I do Titania, I'm going to add the game title into the TikTok onto the screen so that people can see what I'm playing. I'm not going to put the fucking logo. That's bullshit. I'm just going to, you know... oh, Venari's basically dead. I just never notice when my cats are about to die. I've already said that too many times. You can clip it. Clip it. Go ahead. I dare ya. I double dog dare ya. But this is the whole gameplay, folks. Okay? There's nothing else to it. You're just jumping around. You press 2 every once in a while. Once again, what you'll find is that if it's not an exalted weapon... Sorry, I just thought I heard my cat throwing up. Which is kind of a crazy thing to say, but let's just move on from it. Alright? What was I saying? So if the frame doesn't have an exalted weapon, but it does have like a damage ability, like if I'm talking about Atlas or Khora's Whip Claw, I don't really give a fuck. I'm not gonna use it. It's not really gonna scale well. There was this guy in that I was doing a Steel Path incursion with, and he had this insanely dope Gara build. And he was like deleting like every enemy on the map, and it was just wonderful. It was so cool to see. We were chatting it up, and you know I was like, oh, how does that even work? And he was like explaining it to me, and you know it's like, oh, you know, you build up a bunch of damage, like, you know, so basically Gara gameplay is like her 2 has like a damage multiplier, and when you hit enemies, when enemies come in contact with that defensive ability, they get damaged based on that multiplier. And so the multiplier scales off of basically you pressing your 4, you know, creating this giant wall of glass and then breaking that glass. And then every time you break the glass, you get bonus damage on that bubble. And so for some reason there's this really nice synergy where it just deletes everything on the map. And I was like, fuck, that's sick. That's sick as hell. And I think, dude, I'll say always shout out to the Elden Ring content creators. But I feel like, dude, Warframe is like kind of an infinite content game. There's so much shit I can talk about. And you could definitely say that about Elden Ring too, but I think just, like, this is one of the most customizable. Like, I could do a whole series on fashion. I could do a whole series on railjack, or, oh, here's my necromech build, or, you know, here's every arc gun, or here's every arc melee, and, you know, you get the idea. Like, there's so much content. There's so much shit. Warframe is the shit. Yes. Gage Coleman. Shout out Gage Coleman. Let's see. Fuck, what am I saying? What is my favorite frame? Well, I guess I would have to say Zephyr. Like, she's the first frame I reviewed. She's by far the best crowd control frame. Like, Zephyr turns the game into easy mode like no other frame. But I also would say, you know, I mean, like, you know, like Varuna. I love Varuna. Varuna is like one of the... Yes, Zephyr Prime is dope. The Zephyr Harrier skin, the deluxe skin, is one of the sickest looking skins, and it comes with the best operator fashion ever made, and I will not debate that. That is absolute fact. And the fact that they are actually porting it to the Drifter finally after all this time, I am just creaming my pants. That's what really just the meat and potatoes of it. Am I actually hitting these guys? You fucking assholes. Look at this garbage gameplay. I have to kill them all over again. So stupid. Is he dead? One's dead. Okay. Yeah, look at this, dude. These fucking Thrax enemies are so annoying. It's just, oh, it makes me want to die. Dude, somehow I got self-damaged. I was just deleted. Sorry, I missed. I think you said some shit, Gage, but I'm about to fucking fail. We need to get out of here. Yeah, my abilities on the operator have been broken ever since I started streaming. Okay, Gage, what are you saying? Fuck. I haven't been on in a bit. I was working on one. I guess you're talking about skins? Yes. I mean, dude, look at this. Gage, fucking shout out. Chettyberg shared the live. Shout out. That is fire. Gage says, I'm going to get your likes up for you. That is fire as fuck. Oh, you're working on a Prime frame. Oh, yes, yes. Dude, I'm the bastard that just buys every Prime access. I've spent way too much money on this game, but I mean, at this point, that's kind of just what you do. Sometimes I just want to get the accessories. Oh, dude. I honestly like Prime Resurgence. I think it's a good system. You know, they kind of changed it a little bit. Yeah, like if you have a little bit of extra money. Sorry, my fucking nose is itching. It's cringe as fuck. But like, I think sometimes you really just want the accessories. Like, I buy the whole thing because I'm a lazy fucking asshole and I just don't want to farm it. But like, if I have enough plat, there's really no reason for me to get the whole thing. I should just farm it or buy it with plat. Like, it's not that hard to farm. Oh, Banshee Prime. Yeah, dude, my Banshee build, funky as hell. Funky as hell. All right, but that's Khora. Perfectly slotted in. We got Titania. Wait, I just want to do some math with you guys. I always love wing math, and I always love arm math. So Titania has 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of wings. So she has 8 wings total. So you have these top. So you have 2 sets of holographic wings. You have the top wings, which is an auxiliary, and then you have the bottom wings pointing down, and that's a Syandana. And then you have the blood wings, which was the prime access for Garuda. Oh my god, do not even talk about Rivens. Do not even talk about Rivens. Oh, you shouldn't have brought that up. I'm about to gush. Okay, anyway. The blood wings are Garuda's prime access, and then these are her default wings. Those are the ones that come with it. I'm playing on PC. Yeah, I'm definitely streaming everything on a PC right now. Yeah, Gage. Yeah. If you want to know anything about Rivens, hit me up. I only have 6 open Riven slots. Oh, Garuda Prime is just disgusting. Garuda is such a good build. So easy to build. So brainless. Just put Roar and it's just free damage. But yeah, I have 174 Rivens. I don't have a single Riven that I'm not actively using in a build. If I did, I would sell it or get rid of it because I hate Rivens. You know, I can sort by rank and I can go over here. Yes, I have a Bubonico Riven that I need to get rid of. So I actually only have 173 Rivens. I just did oh yes, dude. Oh my god, that's so right. You basically get a free prime frame. Like basically you do the sacrifice and you get one of the best tank frames in the game. Dude, I am excited to talk about Excalibur. Excalibur is bae. I love Excalibur. Okay, let's get into Titania though. First off, I have a Azure Archon Shard because if you have less than 300 energy, you can't cast Roar if you're doing a sortie that has an energy reduction modifier. So it basically makes this frame useless if you have to play it for a sortie with an energy reduction modifier. So you need over 300 energy, but luckily all you need is 1 blue. And then also I have an amber for bonus energy. So you can already tell what the build is going to be. Let's get right into it. Hang on, let's see what Gage is saying. And the mods you get, yes, Umbra mods are an absolute necessity on essentially every health frame. And so let's get right into it. We got double Umbra, of course, Intensify and Vitality. We've got Nira's Hatred for free health and also free duration. We're rocking Transient Fortitude and Primed Continuity. So, we have okay duration. We are using Nira's, so we're going to get a little bit of a duration bump. Ironclad Flight is really interesting. The only reason I use Ironclad Flight is so that there's no vacuum on Razorwing, but I don't have... Oh, no, so vacuum is active by default, and the only way to turn it off is to be forced to use Ironclad Flight. So that's basically what I'm doing, and it gives me a little bit of better ammo economy or energy economy. Oh, dude, Gage, if any frame has decent health, I'm using Umbra. I'm doing Umbra adaptation. That's it. Once again, folks, adaptation goes on every build, and I only have 175% range, but we are actually rocking a 35 meter attract radius. So that's the most important stat. Let's get right into it with the abilities. Her best ability is Lantern, which is attracts enemies. So you activate it. You basically click on an enemy. They become an attractor orb with a 35 meter radius. So from my understanding, the radius actually goes from the extractor to the enemy. So any enemy within 35 meters gets pulled in. Dude, you got to get on. Oh, Gage, what do you play on? You got to drop that shit. One day, the day that cross-save comes, I'm going to play Warframe on the Switch more than any other game on the Switch. It's just going to be criminal. I think I put part 2 in the title. Anyway, we're getting distracted. So yeah, we're only rocking 210% strength. So pretty goofy boy hours. Not very good strength, honestly. But we do get growing power. So we're going to get a little bit more out of Roar. It's going to be okay. That's all I got to say. It's going to be okay. Xbox, yes. I hope it runs. I think it would probably run pretty well on Xbox. I wonder if I wonder if VSync would cap it at like 30. Dude, playing any game at 30 FPS is like unplayable unless it's the Switch. I don't know what it is. But yeah, we're getting distracted. Oh my god. What a perfect pairing. Proboscis Cernos is such an interesting and fun weapon. We can do a whole video about it, but it sucks enemies in. It's basically a larva as a weapon. The tendrils do a lot of damage. The explosion does a lot of damage, and I'm building it in basically completely for heat. I don't even have viral mods. My cat just took a big shit, so it stinks. So I might have to go around the side and clean that up. So I hate to say it, folks, but anyway, we covered the Titania build. That was a pretty quick Proboscis Cernos. I'm gonna clean up the shit. We'll do the Titania, and then the last thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna fully kit out all of our weapons for Incarnon. So we're gonna prep for Incarnons coming out. I'm going to go behind this secret wall, and then I'm going to be right back, folks. Yeah, that was a big fucking Mondo shit. Okay, before we do Titania, we are going to add the game to the title. Let's see. TikTok. Cancel. I guess we just move this down. Oh shit. What did I just do? What did I just do? Can I edit this? What the fuck? There we go. Okay, that fixed it. Alright, let's do this. Sorry folks, give me 1 second. Playing Warframe. There you go. Okay, that's all you need. Let's see how that looks. Oh, it doesn't show up. I guess it... Oh, does it get cut off? Oh, maybe I just need to stretch this. Yeah, there you go. Okay. I could move this. I guess I have to move this down. I mean, maybe I could put the text at the bottom. Here, maybe I'll do that. I'm sorry, folks. This is live editing. So we'll put the face cam up higher, I guess. Yeah, we'll do it right there. All right. It's fine. There we go. That looks good. Oh, I think I need to move this over a little bit. Hang on. Here. I got one more test. This is just some lame shit right now, folks. I'm going to put a little space before YouTube just to see how that looks. There you go. There you go. Okay, perfect. All right, looks good. Oh my god, I appreciate you saying that, Gage. Gage says this is one of his favorite games. That's so nice to hear. I love this game. I mean, I've spent too much money and put too many hours in to not love this game. Can I do it perfect or not? Can I do it perfect or not? There you go. That's pretty perfect. There you go. Okay. How's that? Looks good. Yeah. Dude, Gage, definitely fucking... I think I have my YouTube in the... well, I mean, obviously the URL is right there, but you can also just go to my profile and click on the link, the little button, and then that's my YouTube page. And dude, check out all these games, or check out all these builds. That's what I'm working on right now. I don't want to talk about the money. Yes, I mean, well, to me, games will always be worth the money because it's the only thing that you can do by yourself. So especially with the pandemic, it's like, what else were you supposed to do? There's like, you're basically stuck at home. So like having some like, hang on 1 second. Basically for me, the years leading up to the pandemic was me essentially like really getting to know the games that I love and being able to say like, here are the games that I want to play for the rest of my life. Here's these, I like this style. It was really like when the first roguelikes came out and you're talking about like Hades and oh my god, a grand in RuneScape, that is fire as fuck. I mean, but you love it. But think about how many hours you put into RuneScape and then you do the math and it's like, yeah, I guess it would be like $100 or $10 an hour. Like for every hour you put in, you put $10 in, or you put $1 an hour. And seven hours for $1. Okay, hang on. Let's say that I spent $1,000 on Warframe. I think I definitely spent more than that. But let's say I spent 1,000. I have 7,000 hours. So that means for every dollar I spent, I got 7 hours of gameplay out of it, which is, pretty good. The rule is $1 1 hour. So you buy a $60 game, you get 60 hours out of it. It's worth it. But it's like, here's what I'm saying. If the rule is $1 1 hour, I could spend $7,000 or okay, here. let's not even go off of my Steam time. Let's go off of my in-mission time, the time that I've actually spent playing the game. Okay, 2,000 hours. That means for every dollar I spent, every dollar of that $1,000, I got 2 hours of gameplay out of it. So, you know, a little bit worse, but still pretty good overall. But dude, look at how the Proboscis Cernos like literally almost crashes my game every time I use it. I haven't even talked about anything. We're a minute and 30 in, but you get the idea. I feel it's justified to spend any amount. 60 hours the first 5 days. Oh yeah. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, you're just grinding. Like, it's just so satisfying. It's so easy to dump time into this game. Fuck. Okay, but we got to get into the build. We're getting distracted, dude. I'm on a whole nother tip. Okay, so Titania is actually kind of a funky frame. Did I even talk about her abilities? I guess we can kind of talk about her abilities. So here's the thing. She has a bunch of abilities. I don't give a fuck about any of them except for Thorns, which is just going to give me 50% damage reduction. And that doesn't change, so your strength doesn't matter. Lantern is her best ability. We need to talk about Razorwing. Oh, we might have to redo the whole Titania build because I did forget to talk about Razorwing, which is a whole nother ballgame. Yeah, I think we'll have to talk about Titania's build again at the end, but you know, that's pretty much it. She has she has Guardian and Grace, so she's gonna be pretty survivable, not super survivable. As you can see, like, Lantern is not very good as a grouping ability. It kind of just pacifies every enemy. It doesn't really do anything else. Not super useful. Mount my bad. No. Gage. He's like, Gage says my bad out. No, dude. No. That's a never-ending topic for me. That is a permanent topic. You are good, dude. That's a topic in this house. We freely talk about how much money we spend on games. Like, oh my god. You gotta check out my page. Because I'm about to make a video. I was planning on making a stream where I talked about... Okay, here's what the title's going to be. I'm going to spoil it right now. I have reviewed over 100 arcade games, and here's what I learned. Alright, and it's literally just going to be me goating about the fact that, you know, I've actually, you know, whether it's goating or whatever you want to call it. Nice, dude, shout out. Gage says I'm going to be here in a few minutes. I mean, that's how it is. It's just never ending. You can't escape it. Once you're, like, if you like Warframe, you can never escape it. But if you're, like, hesitant about it, then yeah, you don't really need to play it. That's all I gotta say. I hope the stream quality looks okay. That's what I'm always worried about. I think we're pretty taxing on the system, but I think we can handle it. I mean, it's fire. It's just fire as hell. I mean, the gameplay is so simple, but I mean, you get the idea. Thorns is your best ability. That's the first ability when you cycle through her 2. So just stick with it. Hold it on an enemy, and then you get the buff for 2 minutes. Obviously, she has decent power strength, so you also have Roar, which is just free damage. So you know, gotta love it. Obviously, you want to keep your Lantern active. You want to keep your 3 active. Really, you hate Railjack? Fuck, that sucks, dude. Because, I mean, Railjack is like my favorite game mode. Well, I don't know what it is about Railjack, but I just rank up my usage so fast. And Railjack will always be my favorite because you can just whip out your Necromech, and you can just walk around with the Necromech, and it's so sick. It's just sick as fuck. I love it. I think that pretty much covers everything. I will talk about Razorwing. My Razorwing build is a status build, but the real secret is just using, having enough slash, like building for slash, and just using Karnish Stinger. And it just saves the build, and you're just dealing so much damage. Because, of course, Razorwing scales off of secondary mods, so you have access to the fire mod, whatever that is, primed heated charge. God, I need some good hits on this guy. God, you fucking asshole. Yeah, I mean, well, let's see what the damage over time looks like. I've just been clicking him. Yeah, okay, it's not too bad. It's not too good either. It's not going to compete with a glaive. It's not going to compete with anything. But you know, it's kind of a struggle bus situation regardless. I mean, it's doing okay. The one thing that I will say I love is that I need to get out of Razorwing. The one thing that I love is that you can cast Roar while you're in Razorwing, so it just makes things a lot simpler. I will say that. Has this guy not dead yet? Die. Okay. Okay, they're both dead. All right, that's it. Yep, that's pretty much it. All right, so you once again cast Roar, which is a duration-based ability, and then also cast Thorns, which is the first ability in your cycle. Come on, you bastard. Come on, you bastard. There you go. And I think Thorns will also cast on your cat, so it's going to give them a little bit of survivability as well. So that's a nice, nice little bonus. Yep, there you go. There's the little feathers, or the little butterfly, so it is casted. But yeah, obviously Lantern is going to be your saving grace. It will completely pacify the enemies around you. Razorwing is cool, but the damage output is not super great and doesn't really work as a crit build. So you're kind of just stuck with a decent damage output exalted weapon. But luckily you do get to be in Arcwing, so you move fast. And that is kind of also a really nice bonus, is just being able to fly fast. And definitely while you're in the air, you're not going to get hit, and you're also going to have the whatever that mod is, the airborne thing that gives you less damage in the air. So it's pretty basic. What's not to love? Titania is a little bit of a funky crowd control frame, but I think that's kind of why you love her. That's all I got to say. But that's it. That's it for Titania. So the last thing we're going to do, we're going to talk about a leak. I might clip this and make it a separate video. But yeah, I want to just talk about the weapons that I'm building for the new Incarnon update that got leaked. So yeah, let's just talk about it. But before we do that, the true Titania build. The first thing to start with, I have an Azure Archon Shard so that I have over 300 energy. So that if I have a sortie with an energy reduction, I can still cast Roar, which is 75 energy. So that's number one. Number two is also I have an Amber Archon Shard for bonus energy. And the reason I have bonus energy is so that I can rock Grace and Guardian for that real nice survivability. I have 175% range, 43% duration, 210 on the strength. Obviously, we got double Umbra. We got adaptation. We got transient fortitude, which is negative duration, but we've enhanced that with Nearest Hatred and Prime Continuity. We're rocking 75% range from strength and augur reach. And then Ironclad Flight is going to disable vacuum, which is going to give us, it's going to save me a little bit on energy. We also have growing power and of course adaptation. Now for abilities, we're rocking Roar. We want to have over 200% strength if we're going to put on Roar. We're going to get a bonus from growing power, which is nice. Her 2 has a whole carousel of abilities. I only care about the first one, which is Thorns, which is going to give 50% damage reduction to everyone in a 35-meter radius. So, you know, it's going to get your cat, so your cat's going to be a little bit more survivable. Her best ability for me is... Oh! Gage is in the YouTube chat. Shout out, Gage. I got distracted. Her best ability is Lantern. You have an attract ability, which is not very good, but it's also going to pacify enemies, which is really a nice feature. At 75% range, you're rocking a 35-meter radius, which I think is pretty absurd. I'm not positive. And the last thing we will talk about is Razorwing, which has a whole nother level to it. 50% evasion is built in. 3.5 energy per second comes from the bonus duration, which is pretty nice. But yeah, Diwata is basically useless because it is primarily puncture damage. So it's not going to be your best weapon. You're pretty much solely going to be using Dex Pixia. Okay? And Dex Pixia has really low crit chance. So I'm pretty much only building it for status. So we're rocking Viral. We're also rocking Carnage Stinger. Obviously, we have the default mods. We also have Augur Pact, and we also have Primed Heated Charge. And the thing I want you to show is we have 2,000 slash, we have 2,200 heat, and we have 1,600 viral. So basically what we're saying is slash and heat are going to be the most likely to proc. Heat slightly beats it out, but only by about 10%. So heat is going to proc 10% more often than than Slash. But really, as long as it's above viral, then you're going to be cruising. So that's probably going to be your best bet for Dex Pixia. But that's pretty much it. That's the Titania build. We are done. That's all I got for you, folks. Well, that's all I got for you for crowd control frames. So we are done with a whole class of Warframes. Obviously, when we get down to these normal frames that don't have primes, that's going to be a whole nother can of worms, but we're not there yet. So next up, what are we talking about next up? Next up, we are talking about exalted frames. We are talking about DPS frames. So we're talking about someone like, I don't know, I guess we're talking about Garuda and Excalibur and Mesa and Revenant and Ember and Baruch and Mirage. Although not really Mirage. Mirage is kind of an but we'll do Mirage. No, we can do Mirage. No, Mirage is a little bit different actually. We'll do Mirage separately. So let's just go that one more time. We have Garuda with an S tier AoE. We have Excalibur with his Exalted Blade. We have Mesa with her Peacemakers. We have Revenant with Dance Macabre. We have Ember with Firestorm. We have Baruch with Desert Wind, which is the strongest Exalted weapon, and I will fight you on that. And that's it. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames that we will be doing. Maybe on Thursday, maybe next Tuesday. We'll see. I'll have to find out. But anyway, what was I saying? I hinted at it a little bit. So, there was a Reddit post that leaked all of the Incarnon adapters. And I'm going to go through all of the weapons that I'm going to put an Incarnon adapter on, because I'm not going to put it on all of them. So first up is melees. Akenbrunt is a yes. Dual Ichor is a yes. Hate is a yes. And Skana is a yes. So we have 4. Skana, Hate, Dual Ichor, and Akenbrunt. That's 4. Primary weapons is literally all of them. Bratton, Burston, Dread, Latron, Mitre, Paris, Soma, Strun, and Torrid. All of these I'm going to put, because Strun, you have Strun Prime and Strun Wraith. So you have 2 different variants, and I'm pretty sure this is for the primes as well. This is for every variant. So we have Bratton Prime, and we have Prisma, or Prisma Bratton? I don't know. Bratton Vandal. Okay, anyway. And then finally for pistols, we have Despair, yes. Dual Toxicist, yes. Colstar, yes. Lado, yes. And Zylock, yes. So that's 1. Zylock is 1. Lado is 2. Colstar is 3. Dual Toxicist is 4. And Despair is 5. So we have 4 for melee, 5 for secondary, and we're doing all of the primaries. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to build out all of my primary guns. And the first one we're going to start with, we have about 20 minutes left in the stream. The first one is Mitre. Mitre has max Riven disposition, so I think I'm honestly going to buy a Riven for Mitre. I think I have a Riven for Latron. Yes. Latron is good. Latron Prime is good. Next up is Bratton Vandal. I definitely have a Riven for Bratton Vandal. Bratton Vandal is good. Bratton Prime is good. Actually, I might just call it here. I might just call it and build this on my own time. Yeah, Bratton Prime is good. Both of these guys are good. Oh, I guess I don't have Galvanized Amplitude. Anyway, this is a funky build. Anyway, we're getting distracted. Bratton Prime, we have a Riven. Next up was Paris. Where's Paris? Paris Prime. Yes, we're good. We have a Riven for Paris. It's a bow, so obviously we have a Riven for Paris. Strun. I think we have a Riven for Strun. Yep, we have a Riven for Strun. And then Dread. Dread. Okay, there you go. We have a Riven for Dread. And then the last one way up at the top, somewhere up here, is Latron Wraith. Yes, Latron Wraith. This build is good. Yes, okay. Alright, I think we're ready to go. I think we're good to go. That's it, folks. I'm going to call it there. So, dude, I am red as fuck. Oh, and the background is really strange. Huh, that's kind of weird. Let's see, does it get better if I close this? Looks like it does get better. That is so weird. Yeah, you're seeing that. It's like, that's kind of funky. Wow, that's weird. Yeah, it's like all fuzzy on the background. Anyway, I'll have to figure that out at some point. All right, that's all I got for you folks. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Shout out Gage. We got 2 concurrent viewers. Fire as fuck. That's all I got for you folks. Take care. Bye-bye.